Alright folks, well here's my setup. Basically in my little garage, it's a 12 by I think about 28 or 24, I'm not sure. But just big enough for the car, especially a car like this. It really is nice, and I've got it up in the air. Got the wheels off already. Just wanted to show you some little things here that I've done before I even prepare to take this out. Let me grab a light. And I got a couple of nice beams there holding the back of it up. I'm not sure where I've got those. Those things weigh about 40 pounds each, and they are going to be holding up the car, so I don't have to worry about that. And there is the bottom of the car. There's the CVT oil pan. There's the engine there. And back here, the only thing that might be a little bit of a pain, since this is all-wheel drive, you got this rear drive shaft coming out right there. I think you can see it there, little drive shaft. And there is the the box that I have to take off. And there's another axle going off here, off to the left, actually off to the right on the passenger side. It goes over this wheel. So that's the thing I'm going to worry about last. But for the meantime, we're going to start taking some stuff apart here, trying to get this frame lowered and out. There is a rack and pinion, which is right here. This is electric, so I'm going to try to unhook it from the bottom of the steering wheel inside and let this whole thing come down with it. So that's probably the easiest thing to do. Other than that, there's just a lot of little things on the outside I got to start first. And hopefully this comes out pretty good on camera, but a lot of things will be like the tie rod ends, the lower ball joints, which are right down here. I'm going to take the nut off for the axle. We're going to pull the axles off. And, you know, just some little stuff here. We got the sway bar end links here, which they never come off. But I want to try to get them off without ruining them. And then you got your sway bar end link on the bottom there. So there's just a lot of little things. Maybe a speed sensor. But the nut and the rotor and all this is going to be coming off because I don't want all this stuff hanging down on this strut as I drop the frame out. I would like to keep this as light as possible, but with all this disconnected and removed, it should be okay. You probably don't even have to do that, but I'm not in a big hurry. I'm going to take my time taking this apart so I don't break anything. So in a nutshell, that's basically what we got here. So we'll start taking some stuff apart. Up on top, I'll pull the battery off to get it out of the way and see if there's anything up here I have to disconnect, because I eventually do have to get into some of the bolts over here into the bell housing. So, you know, it's not going to be a perfect video, but it'll give you some idea how to do this. And this is an all-wheel drive. I don't think there's any videos on YouTube of anyone doing a Juke all-wheel drive CVT drop. They all do the two-wheel drives because they're a little bit easier. But we'll see. But yeah, we'll start taking some ball joints and stuff off, and we'll go from there. So let's get to it, I guess, and see what we get ourselves into. And just one other quick note. The reason I'm dropping this is, if you haven't seen the other videos, I got this at a great deal on Facebook Marketplace. It's just got a CVT transmission problem. About 40 miles an hour, you give some fuel, you mash down on the gas pedal, it starts to slip really bad. So something has gone bad, and I'm going to see if I can rebuild it. That's the whole point. I'm going to take it out and rebuild it myself. If you want to see me rebuild it, give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section. I may actually post that video. So people like looking at me, big old eyes. Anyway, let's get to it. Thanks for watching. Alright, first things first, we got to get to oil all this transmission, because the moment I pull these axles out, I'm going to have a mess. So we'll go ahead and get this out first. And I don't think it's ever been changed. So there's the plug, and right off the bat I'm finding out that the plug on this is a 3/4 inch plug. I figured it would be a metric plug, metric socket, but nope. So there's that, and the fluid looks pretty clean on the dipstick, but they did try to change the fluid and try to make the transmission run better. That's always the case. That's what we all do when we think we have a transmission problem, doesn't shift right, or something goes wrong. First thing we think of is, oh, let's change the fluid, it'll make it better. But 95% of the time, it doesn't work. So we'll get this out of here real quick. This is probably going to come pouring out, so I'm going to... Okay, well, fluid looks pretty clean. Alright, and let's get this out of here in this plug. Well, it doesn't have a gasket or a copper gasket or anything on it, so there's that. Let's get this drained out, and hopefully we don't find any metal in the pan when we take it off. You know, who knows? But let's get this out. All right. Well, the book says about 7.5 quarts. There's about 4 so far. So looks like about 8. Hopefully, come out. We'll see. All right. Yep. That's every bit of 8 quarts. That thing is half full. So close to 8 quarts. All right. So we'll put the plug in. We'll start taking some other stuff apart. All right. Well, let's go ahead and see if our metal come off. This is 1 1.25. Yep. All right. Yeah, a lot of times you can break these loose when the wheels are still on the ground, but I'm lucky I have that guy. You can get these used for 50 bucks now. This is a DeWalt, been around for about 15 years, so it's served me well. Alright, so that's good news. We'll get all that off there. And now we can start taking the brakes and stuff off. Now, this axle, yeah, that axle's real easy to slide through there, so we should be able to get that out of the transaxle eventually. Let's get these calipers off here. Yeah, they haven't been off in a while. Wow. Oh. Yeah. Holy cow. Hope the bottom one's not going to be that hard. Let's try the bottom one real quick. That comes loose easy. Well, that bolt's good. Twist it with my fingers. The bottom one is easy. Let's get this top one out. Don't be so hard on me, baby. Okay. Going to try to treat you right and make you run again. Oh wow. I wonder if that slide pin is... Oh, I see what's going on. This is turning here. I need to put a wrench on this. Keep it from turning. Alright, so I've got a 19 wrench on there. Keep this from turning. There we go. I was losing my mind there for a second. There we go. Alright, so I think you can see what's going on there. Right there. Wrench on that. Okay. Ta-da! Alright, so I won't put that outside. I'll have to hang that up. Wonder how the brakes are on this thing, because I have not done anything to this since I've gotten it. Well, pads look great. Alright, so they're like brand new. And, okay. Well, at least we're off to a good start here. We got good parts. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get this caliper off there. That's going to be a 18. Couple bolts, one right there, one there. Alright, so I thought that was an 18. Well, these are 3/4 inch bolts too that holds its caliper on. So, alright, so there's that one. And oh, that one's a little harder. There we go. Alright, so there's that. So we're off to a pretty good start. Alright, finally, gee. Alright, there's that. I'll put this off to the side with the other parts and all that. And now, magic, you take the rotor off. And the rotor is in pretty good shape. That's good. The car's been set for a little while. It hasn't been driven a whole lot. That is pretty much all we have to do there. And now all we got to do is take this bolt out here for the lower ball joint and go ahead and get the tie rod in and this guy here loose, and that's about it. I might actually have to unhook a wire or two, but anyway, I'll go ahead and kind of clean this up, get everything off here that I think I need to get off for now. Then we'll go to the other side. Alright, so it's going. The harder thing, I wanted to go ahead and see if I can get this sway bar and link off. I did grease it up pretty good and actually got it cleaned out where I put Allen in here, and I'm turning it back and forth. It's slowly coming off. I'm really shocked because a lot of times you got to cut these off, and that's the only place to hold that from turning. And then here's the tie rod end, no big deal. And of course you got that bolt in the lower ball joint, knock it out, and this thing should be free from the lower frame. So let me keep working this here, and hopefully we can get this off. I don't know if you can see that there, but that's how I kind of got it set up. So let me continue here. Oh well, I tried. I got just about ready to get it off there because it's pretty hard and just rounded off, started spinning. So what we'll do is just take a cut wheel and just cut it off right here. There's plenty of it sticking out right there. I mean, I can get 2 of these for about $20, so you might be ahead just to cut yours off too, because when you live in the Northeast, you got all this rut where you put your Allen socket in. They always round off, but we'll just cut it off. I got the wheel there. It'll only take me 2 minutes, and go ahead and get everything here on loose. That's the way it goes. Tried to save $10 and spent 20 minutes. So probably, maybe I broke even. I don't know. This guy here solves all my problems. Oh, no. All right, there you go. Take that. All right, so that's out of the way. She's hot. All right, so let's go ahead and take care of these 2 little items on the bottom. This nut off. We got our bottom bolt loose on our lower ball joint. I'm going to take this big hammer and just see if I can knock it loose like this. Should be able to. Yep. Good deal. And now you can see on the bottom down here, I've got my steering wheel in there, kind of bungee corded. And if you look on the bottom down here, I think you can kind of see it right there. Right down here, got this nut loose. So all I gotta do is just kind of knock that out. And we'll take our lower ball joint out. Alright, so everything is out. We got our bolt out of our lower ball joint right here. And if I take this little pry bar, it's almost, I could almost get this out, but it's not quite enough to clear. But this also is low enough and loose enough when I lower the frame. This should just slide right out of the ball joint. See how loose that is right there? See how loose that is? So when I lower that frame, that should just fall right out. Then I'll worry about taking these axles out. I was going to try to get the axles out now, but I'm just fighting against this. So if I take this frame out, then this will let me slide this whole bottom piece out. Then I should be able to slide these axles out from up under there. So at this point, the only thing left to do is go to the other side and disassemble it. Alright, we're on the passenger side, and everything so far is coming loose like it should. Got the brakes off, got the caliper off. Now I'm taking the caliper bracket off. These are 18mm bolts. And this one here on the bottom, not quite ready to come out, but of course there's always one that's got to fight you a little bit. There we go. Alright, so there's that, and there's the caliper bracket. And off the side, take the disc off here, and it's in really good shape. Happy about that. And now, here's the obvious thing here. We got to take off this bolt here. Go ahead and get the tie rod in here off, and let's see, not too much more here. I gotta hang that bracket up, hang this caliper up on a bracket. Well, everything is going good. The only thing I got left is go ahead and cut this sway bar end link off the top. I'm not even going to bother taking it off, just a waste of time. And loosen this bottom ball joint up on this side, and if I can wiggle it in and out of the ball joint, then pretty much everything on this side's done. So let's go ahead and get this cut off.